Greetings, listener. Please enjoy the unintelligible ramblings of your favorite dynamic trio, Arva, Farah, and Westy, as they reveal their origin stories and how they got into content creation. Welcome to The Unintelligibles.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Unintelligibles. I am your host this week. Whoa, that's kind of rare. Joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Westy and Farah.
Hi.
Hello. How was your guys' week? The mandatory question, how has the week been?
Oh, God.
I feel that.
Well, my week's been great. I don't know about your guys' weeks.
Yeah, it's been busy. Because, it's been busy and slow. It's the weirdest mixture. Because we had the Christmas, and we didn't really do anything super special. Had just Adrian's parents come over, open presents, and then we went to one of her relatives' house, like her aunt's house, just to kind of sit there and let them visit, you know? And then got to go look at Christmas lights. That was fun. Trying to remember
That's always
everything here.
nice.
Technically went twice because we saw it once and then we went again with another group. But yeah, get to go look at Christmas lights. Christmas in the park. That's all. That was a lot of fun. But that was like kind of the more interesting one. Just otherwise at work, and it's the end of the year, and we're not allowed to work. There's no system up right now. They have to take it down at the end. They had literally take it all down the end of the year and reformat it for next year because, hey, things change from year to year. So you're literally not allowed to do it. You can't be on anything. And normally this time of year, they're supposed to offer like a special kind of leave, or it's like, if you want to leave, you're not getting paid, but we're not holding it against you because there's nothing to do. They're not doing that this year. So everyone had to be in the building. I took in my Steam Deck and I was just sitting there playing video games for 8 hours every day this week.
Huh.
And
I'm getting paid.
Yeah, I was getting paid for it, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting paid $20+ an hour to sit here and play these games. It could be worse.
Yeah, I'd say.
But there's a mental thing of you are forced to sit in this like little area and do nothing for 8 hours, and you're like, oh my fucking God, please. At least if there was work, time would go by quicker. It's the fact that I don't have a choice. This is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was more or less my week of 8 hours playing fucking Darkest Dungeon 2, and then somebody falls upstairs. I heard that coming too. Weird. Christmas presents, and
You guys get anything good for Christmas?
I got a meat hatchet.
Oh.
Nice.
I got a Bigfoot is real and tried to eat my ass hat, which I definitely wore to game night and possibly Christmas. Anyway. And then a entire book series that I'm a nerd. I like books. That was one.
Nice.
Arva, did you get anything?
Some weed.
Nice.
Some
Yeah.
clothes, some candies and food and stuff, and some snacks. Always beef jerky, of course. I literally, like, every Christmas year, I think for the past like 6 years, I get beef jerky every single year for Christmas, and I will never complain because I love me some beef jerky.
Nice.
And then some money, which is always nice because then I can either use it towards bills or I can use it to like.
It's the most
myself some nice
versatile
things.
gift.
Right. I always say that people are like, oh, money's so uncreative. Oh, I feel like I want to give. No, if you give me money, I could get whatever I want with it.
Yeah.
Like what?
What about
I'll
you,
never
Farrah?
complain. Yeah, what'd you get?
I got I some context. I've had a ring, like this really, really cheap $1 ring since I was like 7 or 8 years old that my dad got for me out of like one of those gotcha machines that we have in the mall. And I've worn it like every day for my entire life. Worth literally nothing, but a lot of sentimental value. And when I was in Vegas, I was explaining this to Arya and Ratton, and I was talking about how cheap it was. And I was like, watch this, and I was like squishing it a little bit, and then it snapped. And I was like, well.
No.
So I asked for a new ring for Christmas from my dad. And I got one. So I'm happy.
Oh yay. That's nice.
I was
gift.
like, I just want a cheap silver ring, that's it. And I'm getting it sized right now.
Nice.
And some clothes, socks, pajamas. My friend got me a Lego set. That's my first Lego set.
Ooh. I love Lego. I might actually buy myself a Lego set with the money I got.
I've never had Lego before, but I always wanted it.
It's so nice. It's so expensive, but it's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Nice.
And then I've been
Nice.
basically streaming since Christmas.
Oh yeah, because you did your donathon, subathon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. How'd
Yeah.
that go?
Good. I think there's 3 hours left on the clock.
Nice.
So I'm finishing it out tonight, and we'll do like a Happy New Year thing.
Yeah.
And then taking tomorrow off, so I don't kill myself before I start work again.
That's fair.
And then, but yeah, we unlocked a bunch of fun stuff. We got to the Farrah merch goal, so
Ooh.
I'm gonna design some stickers and stuff. Just some simple things. It's not gonna be anything crazy like a plushie or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing is just stickers and keychains because, damn, I can't afford anything more than that.
Yeah,
Those are expensive. I would love
it
to,
is.
but damn.
There's a big initial investment, and with a lot of those websites, like I can't remember the one that you used to make plushies, but like Bad at Video Games did it, and you have to meet a certain amount in order for them to
Yes.
be made.
Yeah.
So if you don't meet that, they don't actually make them, which would suck.
Yeah, and that's too much of a risk right now, at least. I feel like
Yeah,
you'd have
they're
to be a
not
pretty
a
big
chance,
streamer
yeah.
to do that.
With where I am right now, I think some people might buy some stickers, maybe like a mug,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's good enough.
right. Plus, people love stickers, and I'm people. I fucking love stickers.
Me too. Me too.
I love them. So yeah, I need to design some stickers and keychains. I think too, because keychains could also be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then eventually it'll move up. Nice. I did the opposite. I took like the whole week off for the holidays. And I'm coming back sometime in the next week. I don't think I'll come back tomorrow for New Year's Day because I need some time to recover. But I'll come back sometime next week. Be like, hey guys, wow, I haven't seen you in a year.
Well, I haven't seen you since
Pull that
last
stupid
year.
fucking bit. Whoa,
Yeah.
it's been. I haven't seen you. You guys grew so much. What the hell? Yeah, my week was pretty tame. I mean, it was the typical holiday week where it's like you're pulled in every direction and you're seeing a lot of family. And it's kind of nice, but it's also kind of awful. Because, God, I hate some of my family.
Yeah, we just do close family. We don't do any extended, which is nice because I have a lot of extended family. I mean, we kind of
Yeah.
can't do extended family because they don't really live right here.
Mm,
A lot of them
yeah,
live
that's
like
fair.
5 or 6 hours away, and then a bunch more live in Newfoundland, which is not close. So
Right. Yeah, a lot of mine's in Saskatchewan, so they're
yeah,
in the
but
middle.
it was a good time. And then like Wednesday, my parents went off to Mexico, so it's pretty much just been me and Pepper.
No.
Been hanging out.
You guys get bonding time.
Yeah, except I've been streaming, so she's like, the fuck. But she'll like sleep on my lap while I'm streaming because she's a little sook, and she literally
Oh.
like I'll put her in my bed and she will just whine, and I'm like, okay, and then she lays on my lap and she.
Oh.
That's
okay.
That's like my dogs. Whenever I'm home alone, I'll like open my door finally so they can come into my room and they'll all just like cuddle around me and put their head on my lap, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, I love you, but I'm doing something.
Yeah. She'll be
I'll
like
stop the
trying to
stream.
bite the joystick on my controller, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Pepper, please.
They get like really curious and like bump my arm, and I move the wrong direction in a video game and like kill myself or something. I'm like, oh.
She has killed me multiple times.
Yeah, so have my
In
dogs.
Lethal Company and Halo. From just like wiggling around on my lap.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Nice. Well, that doesn't segue at all into my topic.
No, I
Well,
I
love
was
them.
curious.
kind of, not really. So I think the topic I'm talking about today is we've kind of touched upon, but I'm gonna do it again since it's the end of the year and I feel like maybe things have changed. I don't know if we've talked about this, but I'm gonna talk around and ask you guys, how'd you get into content creation or VTubing, and also
Ooh.
how has it changed since starting? Like, how's your content changed from how you thought it was gonna be when you started making content? Unless you didn't know, and then
I have a whole. People have asked me this question a lot, so I have the whole timeline
Oh, perfect.
ready.
Right, same here, honestly.
People will ask me this all the time, which is fair. I feel like it's one of the most common questions content creators get asked is like, why did you start? What, and then like, why did you pick your design and your name and all that stuff? And
Yeah. Why VTubing? Why didn't you do like hand cam, or why didn't you become like this or this?
yeah,
Yeah.
a flesh tuber.
Why aren't you a flesh tuber streamer? Why don't you
Why-
show your face?
Yeah, where's face reveal?
Oh my god. I had to put that in my like rules. Don't ask about a face reveal. Oh my god.
I haven't really had it yet. I just like couple jokingly ones, but nobody seriously.
No, I got a lot serious. It'll be like first chat, hey, how are you? And then the next chat, face reveal, and I'm like, oh my god, okay.
I'm gonna say kill yourself and ban them.
Right. Kill yourself in Lethal Company. Throw yourself off a railing.
Yes. I can go first since I have the whole thing. Pepper is
Yeah.
trying to eat my XLR cable right now.
said
she
you're
heard were talking about her, and she's like, oh, I need to
Yeah,
cause some
Yeah,
trouble.
I need to cause some mischief. Yeah, so I wanted to get into well actually originally I made Minecraft YouTube videos when I was like 12 years old. With my friend for like a hot minute. Maybe like a year or something. But kids, I think our generation, well not Westy's, he's old, but Marva's and I's generation. And and those who are younger than us, everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Everybody wants to be a streamer. Like that's the thing everybody wants to be. And I was no exception. I wanted to be one of those things. But my parents were like, you shouldn't do that until you're at least 18 years old because it's not a good idea. And I was like, you're right. So I waited until I was 18 to actually start looking into streaming, which is I originally wanted to make YouTube videos, but I realized that I know how to edit, but I'm like lazy and I don't want to.
Yeah.
And also I started watching a lot of more Twitch streamers around like 16. And I was like, oh, I like this. I like the interactivity with chat where you don't have to talk to yourself as much. You can actually talk to people and it's like
Yeah.
live. I like that more. So I started looking into it once I started to be around 18 years of age. Don't make content if you're under 18, dude. It's like not a good idea. I've met other VTubers who are like 16 and I'm like, you shouldn't be on this platform as a content creator. As a
Yeah.
viewer, I don't care, but as a content creator, it's not safe for you.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do face cam because I didn't want the anxiety and judgment that comes with having your face on screen. So I was looking into just doing face cam less, but I knew that generally those didn't perform as well. People like to have something to look at that was like the character. And then I saw, and when I was around 16, I learned of like Kasuna AI. And then around 2018 was when VTubers started picking up. So I started looking into VTubing via Face Rig because VTube Studio didn't exist yet.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, this is a great idea. Like, I could just make a character that is myself. And it was just going to be me, but basically an anime girl. And then I don't have to worry about, people seeing my face or, and I can use like fake names. So I don't have to worry about people knowing who I am. And it's like better for privacy reasons. And then I think my first time I tried to start streaming, I was maybe 18 or 19, and it was on not this computer, it was on our old computer, which was at that point already 5 years old, and it just could not handle OBS and a game at the same time. I troubleshooted for hours and with my friends and like tried to get it with a stable frame rate and like low latency, and it just like was not happening. And our internet wasn't very good either. And at the time, my brothers lived with us and they used a lot of internet because they played Xbox a lot. So I was like, okay, if this is gonna happen, I need to buy a better PC. So I started saving up for a new PC. I got my PC, the current one that I have, in I think, when did I start streaming? 2021? I think it was May of 2021 I bought my PC. And then June of 2021 is when I started streaming. So it was like in 2 months I was like, "Okay, commission a model, figure out how to use OBS, create a channel, and like get all my setup, like microphone, all that whatever." Which the first model I had was I think $300 or $400, which wasn't anything crazy because I was still poor. And also you shouldn't go all out on your first model just in case you decide you actually don't like streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always start with like
And
if you're gonna do that, always start with like a bust just to see how you like it. That's,
yeah,
that's
I had
generally
no legs.
pretty affordable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but I enjoyed it. My first stream was June 11th, 2021. I did not network at all. I didn't do anything. Like I had no idea even that I was supposed to do that before I started streaming. It's a good idea, guys. If you want to get into streaming, I recommend networking because if you want to build a community, that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But I started a little bit after. The first VTuber I met actually is how I met Lucia because he was in her community. She's a terrible, terrible person, and I don't talk to her anymore. But Lucia and I are best friends now, and he started VTubing because of me. So it's like a chain reaction that happens sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, I pretty much just like built off of there. It definitely was slow start because I didn't network at first. I was scared of anyone who had like more than 100 followers. I was like, they're too big for me. They hate me. I'm
Yeah.
yeah. Like I think when I first met Westy, he was at 1K already, or maybe close to.
I think I was close
And I was
to.
like, I think you were close to. And I was like, oh my god, there's no way. Like this guy is way too big for
So
me.
scary.
So scary. But yeah, eventually I've made so many fucking friends, and oh my god, there's just so many VTubers. There's too many. We should start calling them, I think. But yeah, I've just continued since June of 2021. I've slowly been building. My content has been pretty much the same. I've always wanted to be a variety streamer. I never really had a preference for a certain type of video game. I like story-based games, but I'm pretty much open to anything. I always have enjoyed multiplayer. I definitely collab now more than I did when I first started because those are my favorite types of streams. They definitely don't perform as well, but to me, it's just like a matter of having fun with my friends. And I think the only thing that mainly has changed is obviously I have a different model now, but my design, it was kind of a redesign, but not really. Like I'm still Farah the Bat. And I did keep some major design elements, but I changed styles and outfits basically. And I definitely, when I first started VTubing, totally thought that you were supposed to be like lewd and that was like the thing to do.
Yeah.
In like my first 6 months of streaming, I was like playing that shit up so hard. And then I quickly got so super tired of it. And people would bring it up all the time, talking about cringe stuff and lewd stuff. And I'm like, I hate this actually. I hate this
Yeah.
so much. So I just completely stopped doing that eventually and like separated myself from that completely because if that's your thing, that's fine, but it is not my thing. I do not like that at all. But other than
Same
that,
here.
pretty similar to my microphone is better quality now than it was when I first started streaming, that's for sure. But I think I'm pretty if you watch the stream of me from 2021, I think it's fairly similar.
Pretty similar. Nice.
All right.
Nice.
I had to sit and think about mine for a second because God, I'm old.
I gave you a lot of time to think. I gave you my whole life story.
So this is the kind of funny thing with me is I didn't start streaming for like, I'm gonna stream to people and grow a community. My first stream was a Amnesia the Dark Descent, and I was just streaming for my friends. At the time, Twitch
Ooh.
was, I think, Justin TV still. We had to use like
Yeah.
XSplit.
Right.
Old.
I'm old. And it was one of those, I had one friend in particular. In my friend group, I have to preface this, I was the most entertaining one to watch because one friend, he just doesn't play games. He just kind of hangs around and watches people play games. And another one who's, like, if he's playing a horror game, he's like, wow, that's terrifying. Wow, I'm scared.
Great.
And, it's like, oh God, you fucking suck. And then
Like,
the only other friend who's like would do it is he's actually genuinely, when something scares him, he alt F4s and leaves.
Oh, and that's fun for like one time, and then you're like, okay, dude, come on.
Yeah, but he does it for everything. He's like, no, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I go back to World of Warcraft.
Oh.
Like, God damn it. So
I see.
I was the entertaining one because I'd be like, I'd do a jump, be like, God, fuck that thing, and then just keep playing. And it was weird at the time because I didn't even know like who all would be watching other than my friends because I didn't know how it worked. So I just was streaming, didn't really have a chat up because I was sitting in a voice chat just talking to them while I'm playing. I didn't even know if I had audio playing over the stream like of my voice. So anyone popping in the very early days would just see a Amnesia playthrough with no voice.
Some people love that. They don't want
Yeah.
any voiceover.
Yeah.
That is true. And that more or less went on for a while. So every now and then my friends would be like, oh man, there's this like horror game. You gotta like play this stream it for us. And it would be like, the first Five Nights at Freddy's or Soma or Penumbra, things like that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I got into it. And it's like, all right, well, that was fun. And it was actually a really, really long break because where I lived, I didn't have good internet. The absolute best connection that I had for years was, I want to say, 5 megs down and 0.3 meg upload.
Jeez.
And that was at the very best.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so I just couldn't really do anything. I could play games like Payday 2 or World of Warcraft, and that would be okay. League of Legends, it would be a little laggy sometimes, but it would be fine. Managed to get the internet sorted out, and then when I actually did kind of start looking back into streaming, it got weird because I could semi-watch streams, but if you were streaming 1080p, I couldn't watch. And I did the thing too, I had no networking whatsoever. I literally just downloaded OBS, downloaded a few games, it's like, all right, and go live. And I just kind of rolled with it from there. For my first few real attempts at streaming, I didn't have a camera or anything, it was just gameplay and my voice. It was what was it? I think it was Dead by Daylight at first. I think. I'm
Ooh.
trying to remember because it was kind of intertwined with Dead by Daylight and Dead by Daylight and Minecraft. And then slowly I actually added in a face cam because I was a face cam streamer first. And I had a green screen, I had the whole setup. And I did that for months. And it was actually one of the friends who would watch me stream horror games who he got really, really fucking into VTubers and Hololive in particular.
Mm.
And he was just every day we pop in there, he'd be showing clips of like Gura or Callie and I don't know all the other names. Shh, it's okay. Anyway,
A lot. There's a
there's
lot.
a lot. But it'd be like the entire Hololive lineup. He would just like have a different clip. And so it was just like, all right. That was my first exposure to actual VTube. And it kind of got weird from there because it was very on again, off again. Just I'll stream when I feel like it. And then I slowly just kept building up. Because the internet wasn't great. There's some days like I just can't. My internet, like it's wireless internet. It's too windy out. It's too cloudy.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
It's raining. There's no stream today.
Yeah, that's how I was when I started, and then we got better internet, but I literally can't get fiber optic where I live.
I have that now. It's pretty great.
Honestly, I have it and it's fucking shit still. It's not terrible, but like I genuinely haven't noticed that much of a difference from our other internet.
I mean,
okay.
I'm pretty good. My internet's pretty good, and I don't have fiber optic, so
Yeah, I think you should be fine, honestly, because ours
I
was pretty good before.
definitely think it's the fact that my brothers don't live here anymore, and I'm pretty much the only one that's using the internet.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Right.
Yeah, my parents will like stream Netflix, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah, that's very helpful. But yeah, we did eventually, like I managed to contact somebody else because normally when they call the internet, be like, yo, this isn't like what we're paying for. It was just an old man basically who would be like, that sucks. And that, like, well, what are you gonna do about it? It's like, I don't know. Because there's no other option to choose from where I live.
Yeah, Matt, that's
Oh.
the frickin' worst when they have a monopoly
Yeah.
on that area.
Yeah, there's just nothing else. But then they started putting in like ground wires for cable. And then suddenly when I called and complained, because it was like, well, you know, if I just wait a few months, we'll have cable internet. And it was another dude who like came out. He's like, well, I'm gonna readjust this to another tower, and then internet got good enough to actually stream. Sorry, I got a text. Got distracted with that. But when that happened, then I was able to start watching streams more and able to like interact more and have more stable schedule. And I think I was playing, which Resident Evil was that? Hang on. The one where you're in with the werewolves. When was that? Village.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Village.
I was blanking on the name. I was playing that one. That was my very last face cam stream because I was doing that and The Forest at the time, the first one. I beat The Forest. Forest is actually the first game I've ever beaten on stream, beginning to end.
Oh.
Huh. Just remember that one. That's a nice little landmark. But Resident Evil Village was the last stream I did with a face cam because as I was going through that, I had done research and I had met Maple, amazing model parent there, does all the art, the rigging. Love Maple. So, and there's not really a particular reason I picked the design. It was one of those, I love cats. Like, I had 12, 13 cats at one point. I rescue them. I love them. Cats, they're my spirit animal at this point. And the goth girl, of course, is Adrian, who hasn't really been a lot, like, hands-on, but she's always in the background. More or less making sure I'm always okay. So I had to incorporate her into the design. That's why you get a goth girl holding a cat. But it was at the end of Village on December 1st. That was when I debuted the new model, and I actually didn't know how debuts work, so I literally just hit go live, and I was in a collab with a personal friend of Terraria at the time.
Ooh.
And there's literally just my model up there suddenly just like, hey, we're going to pretend like everything else didn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, we've been like this the whole time.
For
What do you
real?
mean?
like, I didn't know the etiquette at the time. I was just kind of getting into it. I didn't pay a whole lot for my first,
Hmm.
but I had a really good, honest model parent. Because she wasn't trying to screw me over.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's very nice. I agree.
Mm.
And I remember at the time, because I had a lot of extra money because, well, I'd been saving a lot of money, but I had a lot of extra money at the time. And I was just kind of sitting there like, well, I guess more money is where I want to go. And I actually found, I was just scrolling through, I don't even remember what it was anymore, but a Fiverr ad popped up for it, for Maple, on just another website entirely. And I was looking at it for a minute. I was like, I'll check it out. And then I just started asking her questions. And she was like, just answering everything. Like, all right, I like talking to you more than just this other person who's don't talk to me, give me the money, tell me what you want.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
quote unquote professional, you got to go on a wait list.
Yes, yeah. I definitely like my current artist is quite like she is much bigger, but she is lovely. Like she's very personable and helpful. And I still use the same rigger who did my first model. She did the art for my first model because she's amazing. Very talented.
So, trying to remember more. Because it kind of goes into a weird blur from there. Everything sort of blended together. Because from there, after I really started getting into it and understanding it, started networking out more. That's where I just more or less found Farrah's stream. Because I found you on Twitter first.
Mhm.
And that was, I was like, I'll pop in, kind of see what everyone else is doing. Because I was comparing myself, I wasn't trying to compare myself to anyone, like super big. I was like, all right, I want to find people who are around the same views as me.
Yeah.
Because when I swapped over to VTuber, a lot of my other viewers dropped off. And then it was like, now I'm getting new ones and there's new rules to play with here.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch a whole lot of VTubers before that. It was just one of those. I made the switch simply because I didn't like looking over and seeing myself.
Yeah.
Jump scare. You're like, ugh.
For fucking real. No, I'm just like, I don't like looking at my own reflection. It's not even like I'm gonna be negative about myself. I just don't like seeing myself. I think there's a word
That's
for that.
fair.
I know there's a word.
I think there is. Yeah.
Where it's like I'm not gonna be negative when I see myself, but at the same time,
I still want to.
I don't like looking at myself.
Yeah. That's valid.
But yeah, I had to like learn some new rules, and then I was kind of poking into people's streams, just being like, hey, let's see what they're doing, and da 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 da. And then everyone was just, okay, I'll say most people are so nice. Most people are so nice, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I will always tell this story. The very first times, I didn't know how fucking collabs actually worked either. When I say I had a collab with a friend, we were just literally playing Terraria, and I was streaming it, and she wasn't. That's kind of how we were doing that. And I didn't know how collabs worked at all, and I was on Twitter, and I was talking with a lot of people on Twitter, trying to get out there. And there was one person who's like, hey, I didn't want to do a collab of Vermintide. I was like, oh, I haven't gotten to play like Vermintide 2. That'll be fun. So I responded to their post. They're like, oh yeah, just we're gonna be in this Discord and do this. So I hop in that Discord and I'm like, hey, I swear to God, this dude straight up's like, oh, you're a guy. No, and then just leaves. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. So I actually didn't like do any collabs for close to my first year.
That's fair.
Because after that, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be everyone's response until I started meeting the actually good people in the community.
Yeah.
Like Minnie and Gary, Arva, Farrah. But yeah, that was like my first introduction to that side of it. Was like, hey, here for a collab? Like, ew, no. And every now and then I'm petty. I pop back in and check, and they are still at the same level of followers. Yeah.
That's
Well,
so fun.
sounds like Karma got her
Damn, it should have collabed with you.
kiss. Right.
I'm petty. I like to know people who are assholes aren't doing well in this regard.
No, that's valid. I do the same thing. If someone's an asshole to me, I'll check up occasionally, not obsessively, because they're not worth my time. But every once in a while, I'll be like,
It's when I
wonder how
think,
so and so's doing.
yeah, it's like when
yeah,
I
whenever
just
they
think,
come up. Yeah.
I have to think about it whenever it's just like a part of their name gets brought up,
Right.
because most
Yeah.
VTubers are
Yeah.
usually named after something, and it's like, oh,
Or there's
Not-
overlapping names or something, and someone shares a name, and they're like, "Oh, so and so," and I'm like, "Oh, I know someone else with that name that I don't like." And then I'm like, "Well, speaking of them, let's go check." And then you see that they're not doing so hot. You're like, "Yes."
I
yes.
still remember when Westy, someone said like what you said. So you mentioned me at some point, and they were like, "Oh, Farah, no."
Oh
And then
yeah.
you were like, "What happened?" Like this person, like said that you were involved with something, and that was the person I mentioned when I first started streaming. That was just a terrible person.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
'Cause-
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I know who they're talking about. It wasn't me. I'm not in contact with that person anymore. They're terrible."
I remember because they were like a really suspicious person, is what I was like, just part of some group. It was like a Discord group. And I was talking, and then I was like doing a little promo, and somebody was like really excited, and then I brought your name up, and they were like, "Oh, no." I was like, "Hey, have you heard of this person?" You sent like Lucia out to do a little research.
Yeah, because I had not heard their name, but he tried to find them. He said that he might have been able, he might have not remembered them, but then I think he found them by asking somebody else.
Yeah, I just remember that was such a weird interaction of, what the fuck is happening here? Like, what? Why do we have an ew? I don't
Right.
I don't go around to the community and learn the gossip. I don't care about gossip. But yeah, that's more or less how I got started.
Nice.
There was no real thought process beyond the design. I mean, I like Eldritch horror. I like horror in general, as we've covered.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the whole. I don't. It's weird because I don't have the thought process that people describe of like, oh yeah, you do this, this, this. It's my head is empty until I do something. Do you have like an internal monologue that like walks you through what you're about to do? Either of
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah. Oh.
Like until I'm
God,
doing
see,
something.
She keeps me stable sometimes.
Like it's weird to describe that because there's so many times I was like, what the hell are you thinking about? And in my head, it's just what is currently happening around me. Like I haven't planned out anything.
I'd be like that sometimes too, though. I'm not gonna lie, where I just don't have anything planned and don't know what to do.
Me all the time. That's
That was me when I started. So my journey's pretty similar, honestly. I think we all had kind of similar trajectories. I was actually similar to you, Westy, where actually I'll start from the beginning where when I was a kid used to make like when I was in elementary school, one of my friends was a also wannabe YouTuber, and so he used to make like skits, and then I ended up being part of it, and we made a channel together. Didn't last, obviously, but we had a little channel, so we posted there, and we're like, oh, this is so fun. And that's when I first started to be like, this could be kind of fun getting into content creation. And that was kind of around the time when YouTubers were getting really big, and like it was becoming a potential viable job for some people. It wasn't as common as it is now, but it was much more like you could do this as a career. And I was like, I don't know if this is for me, but I might try it sometime in the future. And then later in like high school, I started seeing a lot of vlogging pop up, and I was like, this seems like an easier way to get into content creation. I mean, I can just vlog my life. I'm a high school student. I have a pretty exciting life. Not really, but at the time I thought I did. So I used to film car vlogs with my friend, and I'd put my phone up in my car and we'd just film, and I would edit it and everything. But then I got to the point where I get to post it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be on the internet. So I really didn't post them. I just like kept them in my phone, but I had the intention, you know, I wanted to. And then I think just before that period, I saw Kizna Eye on YouTube, because that was like in between me wanting to do YouTube and then me kind of switching to vlogging. I saw her pop up and I was like, whoa, an anime character playing video games? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that
I
was
love
my
anime.
exact
I love video
reaction.
games. Right. I was like, how is this possible? That's so cool. But I obviously at the time it was like the one of its kind, and I was like, this will never be something that I could do. But I was like, this is cool. This is so dope. Then a few more years pass. I think the next time I mean, I was on Twitch and stuff for a long time, and I've been around content creators, so I was always around the platform and stuff. But I was more into the YouTube side of things. And then I think the next time that I really started thinking about doing content again was COVID. When COVID struck, for some reason, I don't know why, but my fucking TikTok algorithm shoved Hololive down my throat. Like only the JP girls too. So like I would see translated clips of the JP girls, specifically Kuroni, the dog. And I was like, huh. This is like that Keys and I stuff that I saw a long time ago. I was like, wait, this is still around? Like, this is a thing now? I was like, oh, that's cool. And then so I didn't really think much of it at first. And then like it kept getting put up on it got put up everywhere. My YouTube started getting it. My TikTok had it. I was seeing it everywhere. And I was like, huh, maybe I should check this out then. You know, maybe it's worth a little peek. So I started watching it. I was like, oh, I could only obviously watch like the clip stuff. So I couldn't watch their actual streams. But I was like, this is entertaining. I kind of like this. And then I asked my brother, I was like, do you know about this VTubing stuff? And he's like, yeah. Apparently he's been in it for like a fucking year before I was. So he knew, and he got me all into the VTubing shit. And then I was like, okay, cool. Something I still can't get into, but like, I'm definitely going to watch them. And then I think I started seeing indie VTubers and stuff. Somehow I think it slowly started to transition over to some indie VTubers, and I was like, wait, you don't have to be like some big like Japanese company to do this. Like you can do this on your own. And then so I started to get really curious. I was like, wow, maybe this is, it's COVID. I don't do anything right now. Maybe this is the time to try something. So I told my friends, I was like, hey, if I stream, would you guys come by and watch it? They're like, yeah, sure. Why not? So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to stream in like 20 minutes then. Come by. And like, oh, yeah, we'll be there.
Better be there.
Or else.
My first fucking stream was Saints Row 4. I just started up. I think I was playing Saints Row 4 at the time when I was asking them. So I just kept it playing and I just started the stream. I don't even know how I did it, honestly. I was also on a laptop at this point because for the first like year of streaming, I was on a laptop. So I don't know how I did any of this. I think I used Slobs because I Googled. I was like, how do I stream? And it was like, oh, you can use this or this, like OBS or Slobs. And I was like, oh, okay, Slob seems easier to use. Let's download this. Let's try. And then so I downloaded it. And I don't know. I didn't set anything up like you. So I think people could hear me. I think my friends were responding to me in chat. So I think they could hear me. But I didn't set anything up. I just kind of opened it or downloaded it, opened it, started. And I was like, whoa, hey guys, funny seeing you here. Wow, I didn't know you guys were gonna come by. And I streamed for like an hour, maybe 2 hours, and I was like, you know what, this was only friends, but this was kind of fun. And then so I was like, well, what if I do this VTubing stuff? And so the next time I went to go stream, which was like the next day or something, because I was like, this is fun, I'm gonna do it again. I just like drew, I just came up with like a Pink Demon OC like a few months earlier. I was like, what do I want to be on the internet? And I was like you, Farah, where I thought a lot of the clips I saw and a lot of the people I saw were more on the lewd side of things. So I thought it was like you had to kind of be lewd in this scene.
Yeah.
Or not had to, but like it was like the preferred direction to go. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. You know, I do naughty jokes and I've done the sex before. Like I can do this.
I've done this sex before.
So I made myself an incubus. Like I went fucking elbow deep. I was like, I'm gonna become an incubus. Drew up a little PNG for 10 minutes. I think the next game I played was like Portal. Started streaming, and then I just consistently started. Also did not network. I didn't network for like the first 3 months of streaming. Like
I'm
I
glad
just
we
did
all
it.
skipped that part when we started.
I don't know, it's part of it. I was like, I just want to stream. And
I
then
think
people
that-
started coming by and they're like, do you have any socials? And I was like, what?
Aw.
What that's? And then so I made a Twitter. Sorry, I also cut you off.
I didn't even watch VTubers before I started VTubing. I was like, yeah, that looks cool. And then I like didn't watch any, and I was like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot. That's why I thought they had to be kind of lewd, because I know Hololive, the JP girls aren't like super crazy, but the clips I was seeing were usually the more, well, you know what gets clipped, you know the kind of clipping material.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of stuff I was seeing, and I was like, huh, okay, I could do that. And so I did. I started being an incubus, and I started being like a bit of a lewd tuber. And then as more people started to come by and come around, I started to realize that like I don't really enjoy that. Like, I am a very open person and I am inherently kind of sexual, but like, I don't know, like on stream, it just doesn't feel like place and time for me, at least. Like, once
Yeah.
again, if you do that, go for it. But me, I tried it and I was like, this doesn't feel like the right place to be like this, because I started getting weird questions. I was playing Warframe one time and someone came in, they're like, how big's your dick? And I was like, what the fuck? Bro, what the
Nothing
fuck?
wrong with that.
First of all, I'm playing Warframe, so my cock is fucking huge. Second of all, none of your business. Like, what the who asked that? Like, what the fuck? So I started to, I think it was like within the first year and a half, I started to transition over slowly to a bit less lewd, and then eventually I made the statement. I was like, guys, I'm not gonna be a lewd tuber anymore. I'm gonna be a silly guy on the internet, and if I make sex jokes, then you can laugh along, but don't sexualize me. But it was pretty consistent. I mean, my content from the start really didn't shift much, besides from me going from a lewd tuber to like just a streamer. I don't even know. I'm not say so. I wouldn't call myself say so at all. I don't know what to call myself. I'm just there. I make sex jokes sometimes, but also I'm not that much of a whore on stream. Not anymore. And yeah, I mean, I got a computer at one point eventually, which was fucking crazy. That was insane, being able to finally run games. I made my own model. I think I made my own model before getting the computer. I think I ran a model on my laptop. Oh my god, I think I had a model, OBS, and a game on my laptop. I don't know how the fuck that thing did it, but it did it. I was also using a free Turtle Beach Xbox headset mic. Like, I had a fucking
Nice.
Xbox headset. It was really good, honestly. Like, when I switched over to computer, the mic sounded, the laptop sounded like shit because of its capturing, or the product. Like, however it like recorded the VOD, it had like, it was weaker, obviously. It was a laptop, so it sounded like shit. But when I switched to computer, my mic actually sounded fine. And I was like, what? Okay. Obviously upgraded from that eventually and got better mics. But yeah, I didn't change much. I mean, I went from being like a variety streamer to being a horror variety streamer. Ooh, wow. Such a big change, but like, I don't know. I always played horror games anyways, so I feel like my content stayed mostly the same. It's just me that's changed more. Like, I kind of realized what I wanted to do. I always played the same games though. I mean, I still fucking play Power Wash Sim. I still, I've played Amnesia: The Dark Descent like 3 times. I need to play Soma again for like the 4th time. And yeah, that's about it, honestly. Nothing else has really shifted. I mean, I just got better stuff. I'm networking. Yeah. I was still so funny. It was like 3 months in, and I was doing okay on Twitch too, so I didn't even realize that networking was a part of it, because I was like, I'm doing fine, like doing this solo. And then someone was like, do you have any socials? And I was like, no. They're like, you should probably get socials, you should probably get yourself out there off of Twitch. And I was like, really? Do I need to? They're like, it might be a good idea.
Wanna.
And I was like, I don't want to. I hate social media. And so I made a Twitter, and then I started seeing all the VTubers on Twitter, and I was like, holy shit. Okay, maybe I should have got on Twitter, and then yeah, I'm glad I did because that's how I met like literally all my friends and did all my collabs and the good collabs. There's some bad ones too, but the good ones. Yeah, because my first collab I think was with Bun, a few others, and we did like Human Fall Flat. Thank God it was with them, because if it was with anyone else, I think it would have been a bad first experience. Because man, there's some interesting collabs out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
about it.
I think that's how I found you was through.
I think it was through that
Bun.
collab or around that time.
It was around that time, yeah, 'cause Bun and Jelly were talking about you, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll check their stream out.
Yeah, and then you came by and I was like, oh, Canadian spotted.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, no way.
Because I also at that point never like realized that there's other Canadian streamers. I mean, obviously there was, but I've never met one at that point. You know, I only met like I didn't even meet that many streamers before getting on Twitter either, so I didn't know there's that many out there. And then surprise, I know like a fucking million Canadian streamers now because there's so many of them. Hello. I feel like there's a
know,
lot of
there's
them.
so
Or maybe
many.
maybe the algorithm just knows.
And then they tell me they're from Ontario, and I'm like, gross.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I went from wanting to be a vlogger to being a VTuber. Whoa. They both start with V.
Whoa, it's all
Whoa.
connected.
It's all connected. But yeah, I'm the same thing. I guess I didn't get into that. This is like the last thing I'll say about this because it's not much else. But I became a VTuber because I didn't want my face on the internet. Same reason I didn't post the car vlog. Same reason I, didn't vlog at all or anything like that is because I was like, I'm not confident in my looks enough to put them out there openly on the internet because I know how mean the internet can be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two, I don't want to get all prettied up before stream. Like I know I'm a guy, so it's not quite the same, but like I still have to look good. Like I'll either
Still
have to
wear
comb my hair,
pants.
style my hair. I have to put on pants. I have to like make my room look nice in the background or set up a green screen or something. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do that. So then when I saw VTubing, I was like, this is fucking dope because now, one, I can design my own character and use it. And two, if people call me ugly, they're calling my art ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time someone's called me ugly or my design's ugly, I'm like, yeah, cool. I drew this. So like, you're really not hurting me. You're really not hurting me. But if someone said that to my face, I'd hurt a little bit more, I'd be like, damn, okay, fuck you. That's nice. So yeah, that's why I do it now. And also, I don't even like engage that much in VTuber activities anymore, honestly. I don't consider myself a VTuber, not to be like a pick me, but like I kind of am just a streamer that uses a model now because now being in the VTuber community for a little while, I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of this community. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of idol culture either, which this is a big part of. So I'm like, I'm just a guy who uses a model because I don't want you bitches to see what I look like. That's about it. Which is hilarious because I wanted to be a fucking vlogger and that's all they'd be looking at is me. Yeah, I still want to vlog sometime though, but being a VTuber and vlogging is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I feel there's a lot
wanna-
more editing there.
Yeah. Yeah, and also it limits what you do because I feel like VTuber fans are a little crazier than
They are.
Facecam fans. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like they would dox me way easier than if I was just like a Facecam streamer and vlogged.
I think it's a disconnect because they're not looking
I
at a real
think so.
person. So they just
Yeah.
like, it doesn't feel like a real person sometimes.
And people are also probably more curious because they can't see you. Whereas if you're a vlogger, they see you like every time you post. So they're
Yeah.
desensitized. They're like, okay, this is this person. They live here-ish area. Like we've seen this before. But if I'm posting a vlog, they're like, oh, we don't know anything about Arva. Oh my God, he lives here. Oh my God, this flower's native to this land. So he's got to be here in this climate. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell? But yeah, wild journey. Jesus, it's almost been it's been more than 2.5 years, actually. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I've been around the block a few times. Also, I didn't have a way to choose the winner this time. I'm not gonna lie, the holidays were so crazy. That's also why this episode wasn't a crazy thing either. It was just another topic because I didn't have a lot of time over the holidays to come up with anything too complex.
That's fair.
But I do have an idea that I want to flesh out, so I'll work on that earlier this time in case I get busy. So it's ready. So we're gonna do a coin flip, our favorite. Yay!
Tails.
Heads? Okay.
I said tails.
Oh, you said tails? Oh, yeah.
Nah.
Okay, never mind.
All right, heads.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Heads.
Ah.
Fairy should have picked heads.
Oh. Oh no,
Actually,
I
that's
don't have
less
to
work.
put any
Yeah.
effort in.
Damn.
Well, congrats on the very, oh my god, the unpredictable and very like legitimate and fair picking of the winner. You have a winner's speech. Rusty.
I am the best. I am the absolute greatest. No one could call heads like I could. No, but if you're getting into VTubing, make sure that you're out there networking. Make sure that you're not being too forward or aggressive with it. Just be chill.
Yeah.
And if you're looking into getting a model, hey, don't drop $1,000 on your first one. Drop like a couple hundred. Get like a chest up model at first and see how you like it. See how it fits.
Yeah.
See how it
That's
feels.
the best way to do it.
Because if it's not for you, it's a lot easier to recover from, like $200 than $1,000.
Yeah. I agree. Also, don't worry if you need to like change or rebrand or anything like that too. If you feel like the content you're making or the design you have is not fitting you anymore, don't worry.
Yeah,
I know it's
that's
scary, but like just change. You'll feel so much better and your community will be behind you. They don't give a shit. All right, if they do, they should be there in the first place
they
because
should.
that's weird.
fuck off.
Exactly.
They should be there for you, not your model. I know model's a big part of it, but like you are a person behind the model, so they should be there for you. Farah, loser speech.
I lost because I haven't been streaming for as long. That's totally how it was.
The coin read. The coin was like, ooh.
This old
She hasn't
bitch.
been doing this as long. Yeah.
Yeah. Do your best. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be upset if you don't immediately have like 1 million followers because it
Yes.
takes a long time. And if you're
is.
getting into VTubing just to get a big, you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go into it as a fun thing, and if it turns into a career, if you want it to be, go for that. But don't expect it to be a career right off the bat. It took me, I think it took me about 1.5 years, 2 years before I was stable enough to make this a full-time career. And even then, I wouldn't recommend doing what I did. But I was in a shitty work position, so I did it. But I'm also a rare case. I've known people that have been streaming for like 5 years and I can't. So don't worry. Don't go into it for the money because you're probably going to sink more money into it than you're going to get out of it. Not probably. You are going to sink more money into it than you get out of it. VTubing is not cheap. Streaming is not cheap in general. Holy fuck.
This is true.
Technology expensive. Well. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Unintelligibles, everyone. You know where to find us. I am Arva on Twitch and Arva69 everywhere else. I'm still like that. Westy is Westy HCC on all platforms, and Farah is Farah the Bat on all platforms. Please go check everyone out and give them some support. We just talked about our journey as a streamer. Come by and see how we're doing now as a streamer and content creator. Whoa.
Follow me, please. I'm so
Please.
close to 1.5k. Please, I'm begging you.
Oh, yeah, now you have to. You have to follow Farah now. If you don't, then we know.
You don't even have to
track
watch
all
my
of
stream.
you.
Just follow. I don't.
Please hit my goal and then never come by again. That's okay. I'll still love you.
I don't know if you guys can hear Pepper squeaking her toy in the
Yes,
background.
yes, I can.
I heard a few times.
I knew exactly
love
what it
it.
was.
I was
know,
like,
I hear the
I wonder
noise
if
and, like,
that's
I know
picking up.
Well, thank you guys for listening. We will see you guys in the next episode. Take care and have a happy new year. I know that's a little while ago, but it's still the new year now.
Close enough.
Close enough,
That's
right?
early New Year.
Well, yeah, because we can't say when this is releasing. That's a top secret because we released it like a few seconds before on the Monday. Yeah,
First week of the new year.
yeah. Anyways, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.